Social robotics development expands the potential of intelligent technology to practices of our daily life. Thanks to the capacity of social robots to interact with people in an intersubjective way, we can now delegate to them tasks in a broad range of care activities such as healthcare assistance, physical and cognitive therapy, education, or even company. However, the introduction of robots in the physical and semantical dimension of our world raises ethical challenges for the individuals, for the practices in which they are aimed to serve, and also at the socio-political level of human life. Therefore, at ED, technical development comes along with an interdisciplinary research on the normative challenges of social robotics, especially in view of its deployment in the field of assistance. The goal is to foster a technology at the service of human well-being and quality of life. To that end, I am developing a doctoral investigation in the context of a collaboration between ED and the Faculty of Philosophy of the University of Barcelona. My PhD thesis approaches the ethical political challenges of social robotics from a philosophical perspective. The goal is to set an ethical framework from which to critically reflect upon this techno-scientific field of activity and to normatively guide its disruptive potential. The first research stage has consisted in addressing the following question: what does it mean and what does it require to think about social robotics from an ethical perspective? This is not an easy task. Through this investigation, we have argued against focusing the ethical attention primarily in what the robot does, that is, its behavior. Our theoretical proposal places human action at the center, going beyond an impactology approach focused on robots' actions on users' life. We emphasize that what is at stake is not only the question about which means for an already given set of ends, but also the question about which means for which ends. The second stage of our research consists in a critical analysis of the current ethical approach to social assistive robotics. Despite the widespread proliferation of ethical reflection, the current debate is fragmented and conceptually disordered. Therefore, we have conducted a critical literature review through which we have accomplished two main goals. First, we have got a comprehensive overview of the current ethical reflection. We have identified and analyzed the ethical issues generally associated with social assistive robotics in the scholar debate. We have categorized the ethical issues in three thematic groups: well-being, care, and justice, to classify them depending on whether they focus in the implications for individuals, for the practice in which robots are introduced, or for the society in its political structure. Results show two important things. The most frequent ethical issues are privacy and data control, deception, and autonomy. Most ethical concerns have to do with social assistive robotics implications for the individual dimension of human life. That is, data shows an individual-centered ethical perspective. Second, we have detected tendencies in the current ethical approach that need to be re-examined, as well as ethical issues insufficiently addressed or even neglected. Therefore, we have outlined topics and future lines of research worth developing in order to enrich the ethical gaze on social assistive robotics.